Good evening, and welcome to VIVA MEDA. This is going to be a great night tonight. We will recognize outstanding work in our community, plus we will hear from former U.S. Representative Luis Gutierrez and civil rights icon Dolores Huerta on a reawakening of a Latino civil rights movement. This is also my opportunity to offer some thanks. First, whether you're a community partner, a funder, or a community member, you are part of the MEDA family. Thank you. I also want to thank my wife, Joanne, for being here tonight. You already know that our staff is 100% focused on ensuring that our community has the choice to call San Francisco their permanent home. MEDA's level of risk-taking and transformative results also requires sound governance by the MEDA board. For their ongoing commitment to MEDA and the mission, I thank the MEDA staff and board. Could MEDA staff and board please stand? Thank you. Tonight, I will share our vision of the big picture. Before then, I will share highlights of MEDA's accomplishments. I will also provide some context as to where MEDA's work fits in this pivotal time in our city, in our state, in our country. As I speak about MEDA's results, I remind you that this reflects the impact of the over 25 nonprofit partners providing social services in the Mission District. Yet, despite the impactful work of all of these organizations, 8,000 Latinos, yes, 8,000, were displaced from our neighborhood in the last 15 years. Providing social services, while key and most important, was not enough to keep our community in place. That's why 6 years ago, MEDA pivoted to embrace a comprehensive anti-poverty framework that is grounded on creating family wealth, creating place through community ownership, creating political power by converting our clients into constituents, and driving a movement by sharing our model nationally. MEDA is very proud of our work. This past year, we provided services to nearly 8,000 people, including free tax preparation to nearly 4,800 individuals, resulting in $8 million in refunds. The Mission Promise neighborhood expanded from 4 to 9 schools, and graduation rates for Latino students have increased by 26%. On the affordable housing front, we are near completion of our 93-unit building for low-income seniors. The first affordable housing project developed in the Mission in over 10 years. Next year, we will complete an additional 270 units, and we'll break ground on 200 more. We also just purchased our 25th apartment building for a total of over 200 units. Our CDFI, Fondo Adelante, has disbursed over $2.5 million to small business owners. 40% of these loans have gone to people with no documentation, and we have no late payments or defaults. On policy, we are working to ensure that SB 50 does not accelerate displacement in the Mission or elsewhere in California. And We are also co-sponsoring SB 686 to support 20 promised neighborhoods, including the creation of 50 new ones throughout the state. In our latest pivot, we are now working with over 30 organizations nationally to share our comprehensive community development model. So we've been very busy at MEDA. So tonight is definitely a time to celebrate. However, this is a challenging time for our community given the unconscionable actions of the current federal administration. We have someone in Washington who regularly demeans us and wants to erase us from American life. That angers me. I'm sure it angers you too. However, his actions only strengthen MEDA's resolve. His actions only enhance MEDA's sense of urgency. His actions only drive us to pursue a transformational big picture. Every day, we hear our community members' powerful personal stories of perseverance, resolve, and determination. However, in these times, we cannot only rely on the strengths of individuals to create a just and equitable society. Instead, we need to create the systems that every person is treated equitably, regardless of who is in power. While all this craziness is taking place in Washington, D.C., we need to build a basic infrastructure to create the needed systems. Did you know that there are only 2 Latino-led affordable housing developers in the Bay Area? Did you know that there are no Latino-led CDFIs in rural California or Los Angeles? Did you know that there are only a handful of Latino-led 501c4 organizations in California? Most appalling, right? We have the strength to do better. What we need to do now are to create the tools and systems for creating equity. If you agree with this basic premise, I ask you to find your place, your role in this movement, and act on it. Next year is the biggest election of our lifetime. It will also be the year of Latinos, where we show up and our voice and our votes decide the future of this country. Let's make sure that everyone in our community who's eligible votes. Everyone. Let's also work together to create and strengthen the community infrastructure throughout our Latino communities. As I close my remarks, I'm reminded of a group of seniors, mostly older women, who invited me to a community meeting. They were concerned that they would not be able to afford the rents at our building for low-income seniors. They spoke about how they immigrated to this country and had given the 30 or 40 years of their lives to building the San Francisco that we all know and love. And now, as they are older and on a fixed income, they believe that their city no longer had a place for them. Doña Olinda, one of the seniors, lamented about how everyone in her apartment building had already been evicted, everyone. Sadly, she's the only one left. She has the option to move outside of San Francisco with one of her children, but she refuses. She wants to stay in San Francisco to continue organizing other seniors to ensure that more affordable housing is built and continue to make San Francisco better. I am very glad to share that thanks to her group's determined advocacy, together we secure vouchers that will make all the units fully affordable to seniors just like Doña Olinda. Given the housing crisis in San Francisco and the moral bankruptcy in DC, this is not the time to be timid, subtle, or shy. This is a time to claim our community's strengths and power. This is the time to create the systems and tools to address our community needs. This is the time to reawaken a Latino civil rights movement. That is our big picture. Thank you very much.